Hey y'all, it's been a while since I did a video. I've been very, very creative. Like I've had this overwhelming surge of creativity and I'm writing these songs and I just can't hardly even keep up with them. Meanwhile, we're standing here looking at my washing machine, which quit. And this video has nothing to do with the songs, but this is a Maytag that's only a few years old, couple years old. And the thing that I want to tell you about it is if you take this thing apart, take these screws out, it's just a couple of them, and you open up this hood, you'll find inside of here on the backside, taped to this wall, the real owner's manual, the service manual, that will tell you what the little codes that come up in here are. And the code was for this switch that locks down the thing. You say, oh, well, that's cool, just disable the switch. It doesn't work that way because it's all computerized. It knows when you disable the switch. It's snowing. I live in Tennessee, and take a look out here. This is a mess for Tennessee. We don't usually get this. $100 just for the switch. And they don't know if it's even going to fix it because it might be the computer, which isn't worth fixing. So Maytag used to be a really great brand, but these are no good. And that's why I'm making this video to tell you, do not buy one of these. But this is what I did. I went to a little place here in the town I live in. There's a guy, Mr. Jimmy. He's 88 years old, and he buys old appliances, and he refurbishes them. Old school. So that's what I got. I replaced that with this. This is a 1989 KitchenAid, and this thing has no computer in it. It's all fixable. He's got clutches, he's got motors, whatever he said, if anything it needs, but he said it should run indefinitely. They refurbished the whole thing. I gave him $225 for it. And I've been running it for a few weeks now, no problem at all. The only thing is he said this switch right here can get expensive and hard to get if this thing goes bad. But this one's good. Look at that. Look at that. And another thing I want to tell you about these, getting an old refurbished one. Now I do shut the water off just in case. I shut this off every time. But I trust it now that I've had it and I've ran quite a few loads in it. But this is what is unbelievable. They call this thing high efficiency. I think the shortest cycle time on this piece of junk is that one. And it's like 38 minutes. That's what it says. There's no way it is. But if you go to normal right here, it's like 54 minutes to do the laundry. And it just puts barely enough water in it, you know. I have a friend who's got one. She gets a bucket of water and puts it in there because it doesn't put enough water in it. Because it's all computerized and high efficiency. So 50-something minutes to run. Look at this. Talk about high efficiency. Look at the wash times on this thing. Highest one is 10 minutes. You know, I usually run it like right here on normal. It's like 8 minutes. Can't get more high efficiency than that. That other piece of junk takes an hour to wash your laundry. This thing does it in 8 minutes. So I may make another video of me running it. I don't have any laundry to do right now. Well, I guess I could throw these things in there. Let's run it. There, that's a good enough load. Now watch this. Turn this little booger on. Let me see. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I'm going to try it. May have to edit this. Pour a little bit of this in there. It's hard to see because it's clear. Because we buy the sensitive skin. Because I'm sensitive and so is my skin. And then put the water level. I put it about there. I've kind of fidgeted with it and that's what I figured out. So let's tank this little burger. See that little line? We'll put it right. Well, let's go around the world again. We'll go right there in the middle. Now watch this. You pull this thing. Now one thing I noticed when I was doing it, I would open this and the water would cut off. And I was like, oh, I'm so used to computerized things that I'm thinking that it knew I opened the door. But no, I was hitting this, because this is how you turn it on and off. You pull this out and push it in. So I'd open the door, it would push it in, it would quit, and I was like, oh no, something's wrong. Took me a while to figure that out. Anyways, pull that out. There it is. Love it. The other one right here would be doing like moving back and forth and sensing the load and trying to figure out whether or not it wants to wash it. And then if it was a little bit off balance, it would shut down and go beep, 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 beep. Then you'd be taking all the stuff out and putting it back in, and being more conscientious of the weight of it. I mean, it was a nightmare. But this thing, you just turn it on, pour the soap down in it. I usually do this. This is exactly what I did when I was a kid. And you fill a little cup, and you just pour that where you put the soap. That's the way I do it. I'll edit this down. I ain't gonna make you sit through this whole thing. Now, this little switch right here, you can put your pinky in there and trick it, you know, that you make the switch. If you get your pinky in there, it'll make the switch. But this will let you put soap in while the water's running, but it won't let you open the door when the thing is spinning. So if you open the door, it'll quit, but if you stick your pinky back in here, it will spin. So in a minute, that's what I'll be doing. So yeah, it'll dump some water in there. It ain't like these new ones that put just a little bit of water in there. But you can control it right here. However much water you want it to have. And look at the color of that, I forget what they call them. I'll write it right here. But look at that thing. It looks like the same color as like a 1950s kitchen. Maybe it's because I'm old and old people like old things. Computers are good for some things, but washing machines don't need a computer. There it goes. Oh yeah, look at that thing boogie. Look at that thing boogie woogie. See that? That's washing clothes. This today, they're afraid it's going to kill you, so they have to do all kinds of safety things because they're afraid this is too dangerous of a situation for y'all. Back in 1989, many people, I'm sure, were killed by this very thing. So luckily now we have computers in it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So we're getting there. Now it just drained. You hear it bubbling in my sink. It's doing the rinse / spin. Now this is a 3-speed unit, so this doesn't, I don't think a kitchen's the highest gear. Look at that sucker go. So that's what a real washing machine looks like when it spins, y'all. You know, and that's why they don't want you opening the door, and they got the little computerized door locks on the new one, because they're afraid you might get all up in there. It's rocking now. Okay, so now it's draining out that water from it just spun out the clothes. Let's let it do its thing, and I'll come back to it. It's about to go into the rinse spin cycle. It fills it up again. Fills it right on up. Cascade's like a waterfall coming off a mountain, like if you're in Vermont, hiking in the beautiful green mountains of Vermont. Oh. So this is the rinse cycle. So now it's rinsing, that's all clean water, and it's rinsing all this soapy stuff out of the clothes. All right, you ready? This is gonna be good. I'll show you how fast this thing goes. 3-speed. This is when it just plasters the clothes up against the outside of the tub. And if it's off balance, it just keeps going. And you'll hear it. It'll be like clunk, 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 clunk. Then you come and adjust it. But really, it's heavy enough. See, this one's heavy compared to the new ones. It's heavy enough where it holds itself in place. So that's probably it. Top speed. It's kicking it now. There she goes. That's the rinse and spin cycle. Love it. Get your clothes on nice and rinsed. Get all that soap out of there. It's getting close. It's getting close. Here, I'm gonna quit. Close the door so it keeps on doing its thing. So we're just gonna go through this spin cycle and it'll be done. I'll show it to you when it's done. Alright, so that's it. It just quit. Hear this one? That ticking? Now it stopped. I'm telling you, these new ones are junk. But see, it doesn't buzz. That's one thing. And I went back and talked to Mr. Jimmy about it. He said, they don't buzz at all. So I guess it's before they invented a buzzer. There it is. So there's an idea for you. If you're fed up with new stuff, go buy yourself an old one, and you can get parts and redo it yourself, or you can, if there's a place like here, you can get one that somebody else got set up. You can make a business out of it if you want. Just go around getting old washers and teach yourself how to fix them, and you can make money doing it, because like I said, he can't hardly keep them there. People come in there, you got any washers? He's like, no, and I got the next 3 sold. I imagine there's other people doing it, because these old ones are much better than new ones. So there you go. I'm going to get back to doing music videos soon. It's been a while, and I don't know why I got hung up on this, but I did. I guess it's just what I'm doing, you know. It's what I'm doing. If I don't feel like doing music videos, they ain't going to be good, so I don't bother. And right now I'm sort of in songwriting mode. I'm just writing and writing and writing. Subscribe and get yourself an old washer. I'm about to get into editing this thing. But there's 2 things I forgot to mention. Number 1, I told Mr. Jimmy down there who redoes the machines, I like, you want my old computerized one that quit? He's like, nope, I don't want it. I got 3 more outside just like it. And I don't even take parts off them. They're all going to the dump. Just take yours to the dump. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, I was talking to my dad. I told him I bought this old washer. And he's like, you probably did the right thing. Because he said, when you were growing up, for that whole time, we only had 1 washer and dryer for like 20 years. And then we sold it with the house. He said, I remember one time I put a new heating element in the dryer. Otherwise, for all your growing up, we had 1 washing machine, 1 dryer, and we never did nothing to it. So I'm telling you, this new stuff is junk. Junk with a capital J.